Actually am live.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea because I keep doing that as well.
Okay, we're live. Hey, what's going on YouTube? Twisted Number Gaming here. Twisted Number Gaming here, back on Twisted Number Gaming. I'm joined by my friend Familiar,
I
and we're basically here to talk about, well, the future of Dead by Daylight after the last developer update that will be coming to a PTB eventually. And the reason why Familiar is here, instead of like the whole like, oh, if whenever you go to somebody else's channel, it will just be either a killer main that's complaining or a survivor main basically saying, oh no, they need to go harder than this. My buddy here, Familiar, is a survivor main. He mostly plays survivor primarily and will very rarely play killer. I primarily play killer, but I play survivor just as much, but I primarily play killer because I'm a killer main. And I feel it is better to actually have two people with different like opinions to basically come in here and basically talk about this instead of it just being a one-sided conversation. I think it would be better to basically have a survivor main and a killer main basically come in here and basically read this. So who knows? Maybe I might even change the title after this, saying survivor main and killer main talk about the future of Dead by Daylight, just for this. But let's get into it, shall we? The 9.2.0 update arrives next week, so let's check out the notable gameplay changes you can expect from this public test build. Plus, stay tuned for next week's PTB patch notes, where we'll share the precise values that are changing for each of the topics below. Read on for all the details. New features: slugging reduction update. If a survivor is left in the dying state for a total of 90 seconds during a match, they gain the ability to pick themselves up after fully recovering. This right here to me seems fair, because one, I don't like leaving survivors on the ground for too long, because as a killer, I don't like playing like the slug thing. If I'm slugging, it's basically after two people are already dead, and I'm trying to I'm trying to get the 4K. I don't like slugging if I slug during the match, sorry, I just ate, so there's probably going to be a little bit of buildup in my throat. If I slug, it's going to be maybe 20 seconds at most that you're going to be left on the ground against me, because it might not even get to that, because I will down you if I see a survivor nearby. I will chase them away a little bit, maybe try to get them away, and then try to pick you up. I will never leave a survivor on the ground for 90 seconds unless we're talking about the last two survivors. That is the only point in time that I will actually ever do this. And even then, I try to basically find the other survivor so that you aren't on the ground for this long. But yeah, well, that is slugging, so yeah. What are your thoughts on this, Familiar? Like the whole, survivors being able to pick themselves out of the dying state after 90 seconds of being on the ground?
I mean, to be fair, in my opinion, that would make several perks that would allow you to do that anyway completely useless.
Yeah, because they're basically giving them unbreakable. But here's the thing, though. It means that they can pick themselves up multiple times. This isn't just a one-and-done thing, from what they're saying. Let's see here. Added the option to enable or disable this mechanic in custom games. Okay, so yeah, obviously. But yeah,
People
no.
would definitely play a lot more customs then.
Oh yeah, because a lot of them who do slugging aren't going to want to basically play against people who can pick themselves up every 90 seconds. But what people don't seem to understand, and I'm a killer mains, and I understand that a minute and a half of being on the ground, because I played Survivor a few times where this happened, and the killer would not pick us up. So if anything, this is a good way to basically go against people who slug and leave people on the ground but don't hook them and they're just trying to bleed them out. That kind of gameplay is going to die with this because survivors will not be able to pick themselves up every 90 seconds and the killer is going to basically get punished for trying to do that kind of gameplay. If anything, it's a good change. I fully agree with 90 seconds. Maybe making it to where, like, maybe give them a limit of how many. Maybe no, because here's the thing: if you're on the ground for like 4 or 5 minutes or whatever on the ground, you basically are on the ground and you have a certain amount of blood before you eventually bleed out and die. 90 seconds seems fair. Maybe even make it like 2 minutes. That way, like, people don't like try to abuse. Well, actually, no. Just keep it at 90 seconds. 90 seconds is fine. I don't want to basically say lower it or increase it because a minute doesn't seem like it would be fair for the killers that are like weaker. And the more powerful killers, if you make it too high, then like they can benefit off of this. So 90 seconds seems fair. Because they can pick themselves up like a decent amount of times with this alone. Okay. Note, perks that enable you to recover from the dying state, like Boon Exponential, will continue to function as before without needing to meet this requirement. Now, here's something else that is added for the anti-slugging, the reduction update. Gradually increases crawling speed for survivors who are left in the dying state. So, another perk, which comes from Detective Tap, which is Tenacity, which allows you to crawl while recovering, but also allows you to, crawl faster. So, if you're on the ground for long enough, like those 90 seconds, you will actually start crawling faster and faster and faster. But then it's like if you also bring Tenacity, like you're gonna basically be crawling like almost as if you were hacking, like nowadays. But that's the thing, though. Why would you bring Tenacity with this unless you're just trying to mess around? But here's another thing that that added the ability for survivors to recover while crawling. So it's basically Tenacity. Recovery now occurs passively with no need to hold a button. So basically, this just seems like hand holding,
yeah,
like
definitely.
Like it's fair that they slowly increase their crawling speed while they're in the dying state, but why are we making it to where they are able to recover while crawling, and it happens passively without them having to hold a button? That's just seems like
hand-holding with
exactly. That's just hand-holding. Like, if anything, every 90 them being able to pick themselves up after being on the ground for 90 seconds, fair. Them being able to slowly crawl faster and faster as the time they're on the ground increases, that's fair. For them to be able to recover while crawling and it happen passively without needing to hold a button is just hand-holding.
Well, in my opinion, it's more like them putting diapers on the survivors.
Well, yeah, it pretty much is. They're just treating them like children. They're treating them like babies that need help. Meanwhile, like the only like this is basically them trying to help like newer players, but this just makes it to where bully squads can just take advantage of this even more. Like,
definitely,
yeah. In my opinion, the first two things that I listed off about being able to pick yourself up after 90 seconds or slowly crawling faster and faster and faster while in the dying state, those can stay. Those seem like that's fine to me as a killer. It's like if I leave you on the ground and you start to crawl away, it's like, fine. That's fine, because I'm leaving you on the ground. You should be able to crawl away from me and try to like position yourself in a safer position, like under a pallet or something, so your teammates can come and get you. Because to me, if your teammates are trying to come get you at a pallet, that's a gen that they're not on, and I'll actually take that. But for you to be able to recover while crawling, no, I do not think that you should be able to do that. as a killer main, you should have to stop and recover, because it's either you choose to recover or you choose to crawl. You shouldn't be allowed to have both. Because then it makes it to where, if you want to crawl and recover, bring tenacity. That's the perk. Like, if anything, devs, this right here is fine. If, like, the whole 90 seconds thing, this is perfectly fine. I actually agree with this as a killer who basically plays very fair. This is fair. This is fair to me.
To be fair, I would add maybe at least one extra condition that needs to be met. But for the rest, yeah, I'm fine with it too.
What condition would you add to the 90 seconds?
Well, if either it's either that there's a bot in the lobby or something like that.
You know what? If anything, I have a better better condition.
Or if it's like in the.
I have a better condition. So you know how we have the anti-camping mechanic? Make it to where that if a survivor that is standing up is next to you, like standing, if they're next to you but not picking you up, so like within a 32-meter radius of the survivor on the ground, that you have more time, like your time that you take to recover from the dying state gets slowed down. I honestly think that would be fair. Or like your movement speed gets decreased because it's like your teammate should be picking you up, and the fact that they aren't, like, that should punish, or I don't know, like, if anything, leave it the way it is, or make it to where it punishes people for crowding around a slugged body and them not picking them up. Survivors should also get punished for not picking up a survivor as well. Like, if the killer's not nearby, that is. Or if the killer, well, you know what? Just, this is fine. The first two are fine. The recovering while crawling, no. No, like, this is a no. Like, and this is a survivor main, he's a survivor main, I'm a killer main. The fact that we're both agreeing that the first two are okay, but then, like, the crawling while recovering is a big no-no, it's like, yeah, like, devs.
Is BS.
Yeah. And then, obviously, updated several survivor and killer perks to account for these changes. Yeah, I bet you are. Dev note. When it comes to slugging, we know it can be frustrating if you're on the receiving end of it too often or for too long. But we also know that sometimes it's the smart move. Yeah, obviously. This updated system acknowledges this, allowing the killer to slug occasionally when they feel like it's the right call, but will eventually kick in and swing in the survivor's favor if slugging is used excessively. The way that they say that, it makes me think it's not like 90 seconds in total. It just seems like if you're on the ground for 90 seconds at all, like, say if you were, like, slugged for, like, 20 seconds, and then 20 seconds, and then 50 seconds for the third time, you just pick yourself up. Like, it's not, I don't like that if that's the case. Because then that just makes it too much in the survivor's favor. A big part of this is also about making the experience of being slugged more pleasant. Being slugged isn't pleasant. Like, that's the whole thing. As much as being slugged can be, at least. Thank you. As recovery changes and crawling speed... the recovery changes and recovery speed will give you a bit more agency when down, so you aren't just holding a button and waiting for someone to come save you. But that's the thing, though. It's a team game. Like, the survivors are supposed to be a team. If you make it to where they can recover while crawling, you're basically and you're basically making it to where survivors don't have to be a team, because with the 90 seconds, they just know their teammate's just going to pick themselves up after 90 seconds, and they can just stay on gens.
True.
Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah. You know what you should do if a survivor is left in the dying state for too long? Make it to where their gen speed gets reduced if they are on the ground for too long and aren't being picked up. That's how they should make this even. If a survivor's on the ground for more than 45 seconds and a survivor hasn't come to pick you up, make it to where they get hit with a gen speed debuff. I honestly think that would be fair. Like maybe a 5 to 10% debuff to speed. Like, don't you think? Like, if you haven't come to save your teammate, or someone hasn't come to save you, and they just sit on gens, they should get punished for not helping. I don't know if that's me just being a killer, the killer side, but I honestly think that this would be fair. Because it would be half the time that it would... Because it's like, if it takes them 90 seconds to pick themselves up, people will sit on gens. So if anything, make it like this. If they're on the ground for 30 seconds, they get the first of the debuffs, making it to where maybe it's like a 5% debuff to gen speed, slowing them down. But then if they stay on the gen, it slowly starts ticking away at their gen speed into where once the survivor's been on the ground for 60 seconds, like an entire minute, they get hit with a 15% debuff to where it's like, go pick up the teammate. Stop leaving them on the hook. And, like, if anything, this is a team game. I think the devs are forgetting, like, survivors should not be allowed to just be a one-for-all game. It's a team. You're a team. You should be willing to help. So, making it to where, yeah, your teammate can basically pick themselves up after 90 seconds, I honestly think that making it to where the longer that survivor's on the ground, it decentivizes the survivor from letting them stay on the ground for too long. I honestly think the repair speed should get hit when a survivor stays on the ground for too long. I don't know if you agree with this or not, but I'd like to hear your opinion about that.
Honestly, I would say, yeah, I can see people immediately just never getting the survivor up if they know that's like an active mechanic.
Yeah, like that the survivor can just pick themselves up after 90 seconds, but they'll just stay on gens and let the survivor do whatever they need to. So it's like the survivors should be hit.
That's going to be horribly abused if they don't make it more specific.
So if anything, would you agree that they should make it to where if a survivor's on the ground for more than 30 seconds, that the other survivors who are staying on gens should be hit with at least a 10% debuff to their gen speed, and then if they're on the ground for a minute, get hit with a 20, maybe even 30% debuff?
You mean as time progresses,
like the longer that they're
still on the floor,
like they
get a higher debuff.
Like the debuff slowly gets worse and worse and worse to basically say, go get your teammate.
Yeah, I would say definitely do that.
Like maybe the highest maybe the highest like the debuff gets is like 25% over like the course of 25 seconds, towards like after the survivor's been on the ground for 30 seconds and no one's come to get you, that anyone who's on a gen should be hit with for the next 25 seconds, like a slowly like increasing like gen like slowdown. Yeah, if anything, highest it should go is 25 seconds over the course of 25 seconds until the end of the survivor being on the ground, to where it will then go away the moment that survivor is picked up. If anything, I feel like that would be fair. That's the only way I could see this actually being fair, and also just get rid of the ability to crawl while recovering. Like, this is not needed. Like,
because that's just making one perk completely useless. Like, then why bring out that survivor with that perk and then
exactly
a few patches later get rid of that
perk?
Like,
are you gonna go and tell the Saw franchise that you're basically nerfing one of their survivors' perks? You're gonna go and be like, yeah, we basically did this to Detective Tap, who's already not being played as is, so we're just gonna make one of his perks base kit. No, go and make it to where if people want to use this perk that to recover while crawling, that they gotta go get him or wait for it to appear in the shrine. Do not give this to them for free as base kit. Do not. All right. So that's all that we got here for the slugging reduction update. Now it's on to the tunneling reduction update. Oh boy. We got a hefty one to talk about here, familiar. Alright, when a survivor is hooked, their hook status is hidden from the killer. First sentence for the tunneling reduction update.
That's bullshit.
Imagine hooking a survivor and you don't get to see their hook status. Like, like on the side of your screen, you don't get to see that they're actually hooked. First sentence, and it's like, okay, no. You're trying to appeal to newer players, but what about new killers? People who are coming into the game after learning that Springtrap came into the game. You know how badly this is going to hurt newer players? You make it seem as if you're trying to help newer players, but all this means is, you're hand-holding Survivor, and then when it comes to Killer, you're making it to where anyone who's new to the game trying to play Killer is going... Like, you know what this is going to do? This is going to affect noob and newer players. You're not making... This is not an anti-tunneling... This is not tunneling. This is just information hiding. And it gets worse. When they're unhooked, there is no notification, and their hook status isn't revealed immediately.
Oh, that's bullshit.
So you know that loud noise notification you get cross-map when you're basically like playing like a weaker killer or even a strong killer, and to let you know that, hey, they've been unhooked, maybe come back and get the person who unhooked them. This is not just taking away information, this is giving you misinformation. This isn't even giving you proper information that they've been unhooked immediately. So they could get unhooked and then like 5 to 10 seconds later be like, oh yeah, now they've been unhooked. What the hell? This is not anti-tunneling. This is just anti-killer. And it's like, this is disabled once all generators are completed. That doesn't matter, because at that point, like, what do you expect us to do? We're going to be too close to the hook for it to matter. You know what this is going to do? This is going to make weaker killers or stronger, like, weaker killers, like, that are in, like, the B, C, or D tier, basically stay closer to the hook and proxy camp out of range of the anti-camp feature, making it even worse for Survivor. This isn't helping Survivor, this is making it worse for them. Because the fact you're punishing killer, there's no incentive to not basically come back to the hook. And this is just the first part of the tunneling reduction update, basically anti-killer update. I want to hear what you have to say about this, Familiar, because you've already heard what I just had to think. Like, if anything, this just sounds like a bunch of bullshit that they don't need to do this. Like, this could just get removed from this update entirely, and I think it would be fine. Like, just leave this part as is. Let the killer know when a survivor gets unhooked immediately. Because it's like, why? Like, no. You're gonna hurt survivors if you basically make it to where a killer doesn't know if they're getting unhooked, so the killer's just gonna stand around and camp, making survivor gameplay, like, you know what that's gonna bring back? You just, with the anti-tunnel feature, the anti-camp feature, got rid of camping killers. You know what this is gonna do? This is gonna make camping come back. This is going to make camping killers want to come back and be like, well, I'm just going to play Bubba and proxy camp you now. That way I can see you get off the hook. Or you know what they're going to do as well? They're just not going to want to play killer because you're not giving them information.
More likely it's going to make people play killer less or just quit the game entirely.
Exactly, which is going to affect survivor queues.
Or even funnier, if people just bought the game, for example, like what you said, to play Springtrap, and they see, oh, but it's basically bullshit if you play killer, they're immediately going to go refund the game.
Exactly.
Causing behavior to lose money.
Exactly. Like, why would you do this? Like, this is just going to negatively impact everything you just built up. Like, and you just got out of all those negative, like, out of the shit. Like, you haven't even fully got out of the shithole that was the Left 4 Dead update. Like, not Left 4 Dead, the Walking Dead update. Like, that was a shit show and a half, and you still haven't crawled out of that hole. And you expect this to make your like the player base like you like support you even more? No. That was just the first paragraph, which was just 3 sentences. So, whew, here comes the next one, familiar. Unhooked survivors gain the following effects for a limited time. So they already had haste and endurance, familiar. So they moved faster and had they had base kit borrowed time before. They have
something like damage immunity for like longer.
No. They did something better. They made a whole new effect for survivors.
Oh no.
Unhooked survivors gain the following effects for a limited time: haste, endurance, and elusive. Basically, see below for status effects. Oh my god. Well, all right.
That's gonna end well.
All right. So, elusive status effects. I'm just going to go down here and read these. Added a new status effect that silences grunts of pain and suppresses survivors' aura, pools of blood, and scratch marks. So they're basically giving them Lucky Break Iron Will for free off of an unhook. If it's for 10 seconds, then oh my god, fine. But then. I'm pretty sure that it used to also do something else, which was reveal the killer's aura too. But oh my god, like you pieces of shit, kill like try to not make yourselves look like Survivor like mains, you freaking devs.
Honestly, that just reminds me of like that one video part that I saw of the main dev playing Hag, and you could clearly see in his face that he was gonna say, "Oh, but they're cheating," and he thought like, "Oh crap, I can't say that because the cameras are rolling."
Yeah, like he's like
you could see it. He said nothing, but you could tell that he was thinking that.
Yeah,
and he said, "Oh crap."
Yeah, they handhold survivors, and he got a taste of what it felt to go against the people that he was handholding. This isn't gonna make it any better. All right, so back to this. Survivors will also get no collision with other players, both survivor and killer, so no body blocking the person who just got off the hook. So you know, like how unfair it was for you to get unhooked and a killer could just body block you from being able to get out of basement, like a Leatherface. Well, now that can't happen. So, if anything, I'm actually okay with this. I'm okay with this. And if they get elusive for only the 10 seconds after getting unhooked, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Any longer, and I'd say no, but if they get it for 10 seconds along with the haste and endurance, then, you know what? So what? It basically will make it to where newer killers won't go after, will have a less easy time tunneling, and will actually try to go for the person whose scratch marks they see. And the whole no collision with other players after getting unhooked, okay, now that's fine. See? I see this as fine, because it's like, I've been in this situation as Survivor where I got body blocked by a Leatherface trying to get out of basement, and it was completely unfair. And I 4%ed off the hook. There was literally nothing I could do, though. This right here is fine. And before someone says, well, they could... If they only get 10 seconds of no collision, endurance, haste, and the elusive status effect, it's just 10 seconds. That's fine. That just means you can't body block them. Cry harder. It doesn't matter. Like, it's not gonna do much. You're just crying that you can't body block them anymore like toxic trash bags. Alright, now this I don't agree with. Immunity to killer instinct and sees the killer's aura nearby. I do not agree with the survivor getting unhooked and them seeing the killer's aura and being able to be immune to killer instinct. You know, basically, like, you know, might as well just say fuck Legion, but, you know. Because if Legion, like, hits the person unhooking you, and then the survivor goes to run away, it's like you're basically just saying screw an entire killer's power. Like, no. And then, like, you know what else allows? They're basically giving survivors the secondary effective breakdown, which if you get unhooked while having breakdown, you see the killer's aura, and you get to see the killer's aura. It's like, no. Like, them getting elusive endurance, haste, and no collision, that's completely fine. The ability to be immune to killer instinct and see the killer's aura, no, get rid of that. These effects are lost when the affected survivor performs a conspicuous action. All these, except haste and endurance, are disabled once all generators are completed. Okay, now that is fine, that it gets disabled once the last gen's done. But I still think that the immunity to killer instinct and being able to see the killer's aura is the only thing I would say that should not be part of this thing. So, having your hook status hidden from the killer and not getting a notification immediately when the survivor's unhooked, get rid of that, and then get rid of the ability to see the killer's aura and be hidden from killer instinct. Get rid of that, and this would actually not be too bad. And then added a unique effect to the killer hook state UI that indicates the last survivor they hooked. Now, this is good, because newer players will sometimes accidentally tunnel a survivor without knowing, so familiar. What this basically means is, say if you are basically, say if you like find a survivor that you just hooked, this basically will let you know, hey, you just hooked this person, maybe go after somebody else. Now, this could benefit people and also, you know, not benefit people. But if anything, this will actually benefit new players who don't understand that they just went for that person, or maybe they didn't realize that they're going for that person, or, you know, they're just going to ignore it and not care. After completing
I think the latter is going to happen.
Yeah, after completing a unique hook, the same survivor is not hooked consecutively, killers get the following benefits. So, hey, look, we finally get to something that is benefiting killer, familiar. Wow! So basically, like,
and that's the only thing, right?
Hold on, I will not tell you if you're right or not. So you remember how old
It'd be
barbecue
funny
and
if there's only one thing.
Do you remember how?
It would be funny if there's one. Yeah, you first.
Do you remember how old barbecue and chili used to work, where if you hooked each survivor once, like basically a unique hook? Well, it's basically a little bit better than that, where, say, if you hooked a survivor, and then you kept hooking someone that isn't the same survivor consecutively, like, say if you hooked one survivor A, then survivor B, then C, then A, then B, then C, then A, then B, and never hooked D, you basically keep getting a unique hook, and which gives you a benefit. Which, if anything, this is how you should be doing it for killer. Incentivize! Don't use the stick, use the carrot. Basically lead them away from tunneling by giving them benefits for actually playing the game fair.
Basically use the carrot that is conveniently shaped like a stick, is what they're thinking.
Yeah, instead of basically using, like, don't punch us because of the fact that we're basically tunneling, because it's a good strategy to basically try to, like, go against people who are, like, gen rushing and stuff. Give us actual benefits for us to actually not want to tunnel. Give us something that keeps us from wanting to tunnel, instead of being like, if you don't stop tunneling, we're gonna do this. It's like, stop threatening us with this and give us something that rewards us for not tunneling. So, here are the benefits. Bonus damage for the next generator kick. Okay. We don't get a number yet. Temporary haste status effect. Okay. Temporarily reveals survivors. Think base kit, barbecue, and chili that have... So, say if you hook a survivor, and it reveals the aura of survivors that have less or equal hook states to the hooked survivor. This is actually interesting, because I don't think people are reading this out. So say if you hook a survivor who has 2 hook states, you're not going... Let me see here. So if you hook a survivor that has 1 hook state, you're not going to see a survivor that has 2 hook states. That's actually good. But if you hook a survivor who's dead on hook, you're going to see everybody. That's actually good. That's actually good. But the thing is, though, it's not going to be that good for, like, weaker killers who aren't able to travel across the map, like Trapper and stuff like that, because it's like Trapper needs to play a little bit more territorial and stay in a certain part of the map with his traps. Like, you're not going to change how a Trapper plays, because the most beneficial way is to play around your traps, not going around the whole map. You lock down an entire section of the map and play around that part of the map. So this temporary haste and barbecue and chili isn't going to affect the weaker killers, like the D tiers, that much. And neither will the generator kick, the next generator kick. Unless you're making it to where the temporary haste and damage to the generator you kick gets more and more and more powerful with each consecutive, with each unique hook that you get. Then maybe, because if anything, I could see this being good. Say if you get a hook on A, B, and C, and then you find a gen that maybe might have, like, which might be close to being done. If you if you kept getting unique hooks and you've kicked a gen for after every hook, that this next kick is going to basically do, like, maybe say if you hook a survivor, you now get a 10% damage for the next kick, but then if you hook another survivor, then it's 20%, then it's 30%. I honestly think that it should go like that, but maybe in increments of like 5%. That way it's like if you don't tunnel, you get more and more and more and more powerful. I honestly think that's how it should go. But make it to where it's like every time you hook a unique survivor, you get an added like 5% to your next kick. So it's like the default is 5%, then it goes to 10%, then 15, then 20, then 30, then 4. Like it should really just constantly keep going up in increments of 5. To basically just make you powerful after you hook a survivor. Like, it should basically be like a base kit Pop Goes the Weasel that gets stronger and stronger with each unique hook that you get. It should actually be like that. If it's like that, I'd actually agree. This is actually the way you incentivize us to not want to tunnel and actually go for unique hooks. That's actually good. Temporary haste status effect. Same thing. If the haste gets stronger, but like say if the default haste is 5%, but then it goes up by an extra 1% every time you get a unique hook, that's also another way to benefit us, because then it goes up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like, and making it to where maybe it gets an extra second of power. So it might be temporary, but you get like an extra. So like say it's like 5% haste for 10 seconds. That's not going to help many killers. But if you were to say give us an extra second and an extra percent per hook state that we get that isn't consecutive, we get faster and faster and faster for longer and longer and get more power out of our kicks. It's like, that's how it should feel. It should feel like the killer is slowly gaining power instead of just giving all the power. It should feel like this. The better the killer. We're reading the update right now. Axe Boy. We're actually reading it right here.
Yep.
I think they hate killer mains. You're not wrong, but if anything, like we're reading the only thing that they're giving killers as compensation, and if anything, the way that I'm saying is how I think they should do it if they want us to not like suffer, because it's like killer is going to be extremely like terrible if they don't like do this correct. Me and Familiar is a survivor main, I'm a killer main, and both of us have pretty much entirely agreed on the same thing, that some things like this part right here, I'm going to put my circle over the dot, this right here, this entire paragraph right here should not exist in this update. And Survivor should not be immune to killer instinct and see the killer as the aura nearby after getting unhooked. They should not be able to have that. So this should not exist, and this sentence right here with the immunity thing should not exist either. This stuff should be a lot better. Alright. However, I do appreciate what they say next. These effects are slightly lessened for the Blight, Dracula, Kaneki, Hillbilly, and the Nurse due to their high mobility. This is the first time I think that they have ever actually made something weaker for the stronger S-tier killers, but made it to where the other killers get stronger or more benefits due to them being weaker. These effects are disabled once all generators are completed. Okay, yeah, no, that's actually fair. Added new effects that disincentivize tunneling. Oh god, yeah, no. Get ready for this, Familiar. They gave us a small taste of the carrot and then they brought back the stick. If a survivor dies before 6 total hook states, all remaining survivors gain a repair speed bonus for the rest of the trial.
Yeah, they don't like killer mains, I think.
What were they smoking? What were they smoking?
I'd say they were probably smoking something along the lines of
I think they were smoking
Colombian black heroin and other stuff.
I think they were on heroin, smoking crack, and they were hotboxing the entire office with weed. Because what the fuck is this shit?
Oh, and it gets worse. If the survivor that was last hooked is sacrificed or killed, generators cannot be regressed or blocked. So say if you hooked a survivor, say if the survivor who is dead on hook, who just got off the hook, if you go for them to try to like get some pressure and hook them to gain some pressure in a really terrible situation where like maybe there's like only 2 or 1 gen left in the trial because they've been gen rushing you, and you kill that survivor who is just on the hook, you can't kick the generators or regress them with perks. So you gain you gain nothing for trying to apply pressure. So, if you want to know, I don't completely disagree that the survivor should gain a repair speed bonus for the rest of the trial if a killer tunnels a survivor. Just change the number 6 if a survivor dies before 6 total hook states to 4 total hook states, because if you gain 3 hook states and it's all on the same survivor, that survivor's dead. So if anything, just change this from 6 to 4, and this would actually be fair. It would be a fair punishment to killers who keep going after the same survivor until they die, and like, yeah, no. So if anything, it's a good idea. This is a good stick. Just decrease the strength of how hard you're hitting us, because this isn't a stick. This is a metal pipe you're taking to our heads. Like, take it from 6 to 4, and it will be fine. Like, I honestly think that would be fair, right? Like, if a killer continues to tunnel the same survivor, the survivor should get, like, compensated for the fact that the killer tunneled that survivor out of the game, and only
and only went for them. It should punish the killer. But if the killer has hooked that survivor twice and then hooked some, like say if they hooked that person, hooked another person, and then hooked that person, and then hooked another person, I honestly think that if it's like, because yeah, it decentivizes tunneling. However, you're also making it to where it will make it to where survivors will sometimes just throw themselves in the line of fire to body block the other, like a survivor who isn't dead on hook, to basically make you go for them. And it's like, well, then it's like it basically gives them something to take advantage of. So make it to where instead of it being 6 total hook states, make it 4. Make it 4. It's a good idea. It's good. This is good. Like the benefits, yes, it should make us grow in power the more we do non-tunnel things. And slowly make our benefits better and better and better as the trial goes on, the more we don't tunnel. But make it to where if people do tunnel, that they get penalized and survivors get benefited. Yes, this is fine. Just don't do it too much. Otherwise, the killer base is just going to leave. So change this from 6 to 4, and it should be fine. And the whole, if the last survivor was hooked or sacrificed or killed, make it to where make it to where survivors get a free gen, make it to where the killers can't regress or block generators for 30 seconds. Or maybe a minute. Because if they can't do that for the rest of the trial, that isn't fair. If anything, maybe just, take this entire thing out and just do the survivors getting a bonus gen speed thing. And if they continue to try to tunnel people out, so say if they tunnel one survivor out of the game entirely, and then they try to tunnel a second person out, just make it to where the other 2 survivors get even like a stacked like gen speed for the rest of the for the remainder of the trial as well, making it to where the killer just gets even more punished for actually tunneling. I'm saying this because I don't tunnel. I especially not like this. And then, of course, they said the option to enable or disable these new mechanics in custom games. I wonder why. Updated several survivor and killer perks to account for these changes. Yeah. Jesus. Oh, and Familiar, by the way, we've already been talking for 47 minutes, by the way. And I have not played a single game, and I was planning on playing a game or so. But, yeah. Dev note. It's no secret that tunneling can be seen as an efficient way to play for killers. While this can be true, it's also true that the results of this can be frustrating for survivors, leading to the trials ending too quickly for some, while leaving others to fend for themselves in a match that is now much more difficult. The intention here is for both roles to feel the benefits and incentives that come from spreading hook states. On one end, survivors have better opportunities to evade and reset after unhooks. You're overcompensating for them and not giving us enough, while also limiting those tough situations where losing a survivor too quickly causes things to go south quickly and snowball. On the other end, killers are able to apply more map pressure to push. No, they can't. The weaker killers will basically get punished so much. Like, no, you're not taking into account that the weaker killers are going to need stronger buffs, and the stronger killers are going to need weaker buffs. And we already talked about the elusive status effect. Dev note, to start, we'll be using this new status effect as part of the tunneling reduction update, but plan to integrate this into relevant existing perks down the road to make their descriptions more streamlined. You basically mean to buff every single one of the perks that had the ability to hide aura, pools of blood, and scratch marks. Now they'll just do all of it, including silencing grunts of pain. So bringing Iron will now hide your aura, pools of blood, and scratch marks, and grunts of pain. Great job, devs. You're a fucking idiot.
Arguably, the easiest way to look at this is a version of undetectable in that when it's active, you know you're in stealth mode. You mean just giving them everything for free? Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
The
That's
Tomes
gonna
lore.
Be great for the people. For the license holders of some of the licensed characters.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, hey, look, the Tomes is getting a lore update, which they haven't touched in literal months after they killed it off, just so they could bring in FNAF. Like the pieces of shit that they are. Updated the Tomes menu to feature new Tomes and accompanying lore alongside each chapter release. New lore is unlocked each week within the active tome. Oh my fucking god. I want to strangle one of them and be like, "What the fuck you mean?"
Not worth it. Not worth it.
Yeah, I know. In game. All right, dev note. Ever since we killed the tome, we've seen how much you've yearned for more lore. There's a lot of people who just play the game to play the game. Some of them, most of them, like more than 50%, don't care about the lore. Devs.
Yep.
We're happy to share
I'm one
that.
Of them, actually.
We're happy to share that beginning with 9.2.0, lore is back. While previously lore was tied to challenges, we want all players to have a chance to immerse themselves in these stories, so we've shifted to a weekly unlock, not linked to any quest completion. So you're just basically going to give us the lore for free now? If anything, that's completely fine, and I actually am okay with this. Because having it to where we had to do so many different challenges just to get the lore, it was stupid. Because there were some things that I couldn't do, and some people would never be able to get the lore because they would have to buy the killer. So it's like, thank you for giving
or play a certain killer that they're not really fond of.
Yeah, or not fond of. Yeah. So if anything, giving it to them for free is completely fine. Oh, okay. We're not even halfway through their update. Okay. Alright. Next thing. Killer updates. The Shape. Yes. They have gone for Michael Myers. Alright. Replaced Evil Within with 2 modes that can be toggled with a button press. So he no longer tiers up from Evil Within 1 to Tier 2, and then into Tier 3, and then back to Tier 2 when he runs out of power. It no longer works like that. You can just switch between 2 modes. Stalker mode, you move at 4.2 meters a second, so, slower than a huntress, which is completely fine. And you have undetectable and can stalk survivors. So basically, like Scratch Mirror Myers, but, you can just switch over to it. Pursuer mode, you move at 4.6 meters per second, have a 24-meter tear radius, so basically a not too bad. Increased vault speed, bonuses to lunge range, break speed, and stun recovery, but can't stalk survivors. This is interesting because Tier 2 Myers, they basically gave him increased vault speed. They gave him what it's basically like a coup de grace, like a tiny coup de grace. It sounds like a tiny base kit coup de grace, a tiny base kit real strength, base kit enduring, and increased vault speed with a smaller tear radius. This is interesting, and I actually like this. So it allows you to switch between a slower, stealthy killer that can stalk survivors for power, while Pursuer mode allows you to basically move at normal speed, but you have a smaller tear radius, increased vault speed. This will go well with so many different builds, but you can't stalk survivors. That's fine. This is interesting because they basically reworked his entire power to something new. Alright, here's the second part of it. Once the stock meter is full, Evil Incarnate mode can be triggered at will, granting the following effects for a limited time. Note, survivors no longer become exposed. So I know what this makes you all think. Oh man, survivors are no longer a one-shot? No, that's not what they're saying. They're just saying that survivors don't get the exposed status effect once Michael Myers activates Evil Incarnate mode. So no, hold on. Before you start freaking out and thinking, oh my gosh, Michael Myers can't one-shot them anymore. No, they just can't be, they're not exposed anymore, meaning that survivors won't have like the exposed thing pop up. That will still happen for Ghostface, but Michael Myers doesn't get the whole like exposed status effect. But they're not saying that he can't one-shot. But okay, so his movement speed once Evil Incarnate mode has been triggered is 4.4 movement speed, so default movement speed for Killer, a 40-meter terror radius, and an even more increased vault speed. So they increased vault speed for Pursuer mode, which is basically like so Stalker mode and Pursuer mode are basically with a button you can basically swap before. So does this mean survivors won't know? In a way, yes, but I think it also means that once you hit Evil Incarnate mode, that's when like Michael Myers will go like like imagine like that. It will basically be the same, but if anything, I'm more interested in if you swap between Stalker mode and Pursuer mode, if it will also have like the because if that's the case, I actually live for that, because that means you can swap between undetectable and just like a stronger version of Tier 2 Myers at will, meaning you could, well, you say feels pointless, don't worry, because with Stalker mode, you move slightly slower, but you basically are undetectable, and survivors can't hear you, can't see your aura. Basically, you kind of just can hide. But here's what Evil Incarnate gives you. Unlocks Slaughtering Strike ability. So think of like a pig's dash. Like when Pig charges her, whatchamacallit, her, like her ambush attack. Mm-hmm. Hold the power button to charge this ability. So while you're charging the ability, think of it like you're like holding up a hatchet from Huntress to throw it. Like you kind of slow down to basically throw it. It kind of works like that. You slow down while you're charging the ability. Press the attack button while charging to quickly lunge forward, adjusting your angle as you move. Why can't teleporting be base kit? That would be funny. So, how... So, no, it's not. I'm talking about the PTB. The length of the lunge depends on charge time. If a survivor enters the killer's attack range while lunging, they are knocked into the dying state. So this means Michael Myers basically has Pig's ability with more turn rate and is able to basically one-shot survivors into the dying state with this power. And it's, from the sounds of it, the longer you charge it, the farther you go. So it seems like you have like a built-in, even further coup de grace built into Myers, meaning you could basically one-shot survivors around a loop that you would never have been able to do without coup de grace. But that means you could also stack coup de grace with his power potential. Well, maybe not with his power, but you could bring coup de grace for when you're not inside this mode, and still constantly get like unfair hits around loops, just making Michael Myers an absolute anti-loop god. And if anything, I actually am for this a bit. Like, yeah, I know they've turned him into Dash Killer Slop, but out of all the Dash Killers, I honestly think they've actually made him one of the more powerful ones, because he's better than Pig. He's better than Wesker. He can one-shot you with his ability around a loop, and you got coup de grace. Meaning, you can literally charge it, go all the way to the full charge, and just go and basically get them around a loop. And there's nothing and here's the better part. This ability can also be used to destroy pallets. So you also get the benefit of what, Blight or Demo gets when they use their ability on a pallet. You can just insta-break pallets with your ability. So you can one-shot people to the ground, you get coup de grace, and you can basically destroy pallets, making him an anti-loop god. And remember, he also gets an increased vault speed. On top of his increased vault speed. Oh, and here's something better. Unlocks the ability to grab and kill or perform a regular Mori on survivors who would die the next time they are hooked, giving you a base kit Mori at last. Meaning you don't have to bring a Mori in order to kill people. Myers can just do this when you have Evil Incarnate mode active. So you could basically just charge Evil Incarnate mode, and then when you see a survivor who's dead on hook, just activate it, go up behind them, and kill them. So, in a way, this definitely is a more powerful Myers. And and adjusted some of the mechanics of stalking, removed the limited pool of stock points per survivor so he can stalk them infinitely. Thank you. Reduced stalk range to 32 meters, so you have to be somewhat... You can't stalk them from afar, and they removed the distance modifier. In a way, it was a cool idea, and they made it more like Myers, but in a way it kind of nerfed him in my eyes, because back in the day, you were able to basically just get up right behind someone and stalk them, but I think they brought that back, and I'm happy about that. Moving while stalking has increased movement speed, but reduces your stalk rate. Now this is fine, because which means you can stalk you can chase them and stalk them, but it slows down the stalk rate. Now that's fine. Reworked his add-ons. Okay. By moving away from linear evil within tiers, we wanted to give players more tools they can use to adapt to each trial's unique situations while keeping the core of what makes him the shape. Slaughtering Strike makes for a high-threat offensive attack, offering up an insta-down opportunity with an extended lunge that's particularly effective in loops and for ripping through pallets quickly. Understanding his kit has changed entirely. We've done a pass on nearly all his add-ons, reworking many of them to offer more unique effects. In particular, for those who prefer his old playstyle, Fragrant Tuft of Hair will change Evil Incarnate to function like old Myers, offering an exposed effect and no slaughtering strike. So, you heard that. You can still play old Myers with Fragrant Tuft of Hair, where it will expose everyone and you can just walk up and one-shot them, but it won't give you Slaughtering Strike where you can hit people around loops. So they've unironically made Myers probably an A-tier killer with this rework alone. And I am actually here for it. My boy has been in like C to D tier for so long. And before people are saying, oh, of course you are, just like all the others, it's like, no, it's because of the fact that while I play him, I literally, you can't play him without certain things. Like, you have to play him a certain way, and if you don't, you can't have fun. This makes him, so much better than he was before. And I know, there's gonna be at least one, hardcore DBD, streamer who's gonna be like, he was good the way he was before. I'm sorry. You do realize he just got base kit, everything that made him good, right? And now that means you can just still bring those perks, and it will just make him stronger.
Honestly, if you have a top tier, if you have a streamer like that, it's like, oh yeah, but now it's no longer cool to play him or any difficult. Yeah, but then, so I don't want to play him anymore.
But here's the thing: they even say that there's an add-on that will even change him
back into like the old way of how you play Myers. So it's like, why be upset? They just made it to where you can still play the way you want to, like as old Myers. But then if people don't want to play old Myers and want to play this new way, they can. And if anything, with all the trash that the devs have done, if anything, yes, they reduced him to a dash killer, but he's one of the strongest, if not the strongest dash killer now. Like, the anti-loop is crazy. If they ever add Myers to 2v8, I honestly think we're screwed. Because you won't be able to... You just won't ever be able to loop him. He'll just shred through pallets. If anything, Myers and Oni would be an absolute nightmare to go against in 2v8. I think this is the only good thing that I've seen through this update. All right. Oh God, the clown. Of course, here's the clown. Increase the activation time of the afterpiece antidote. Thank you. So what this means is it will take longer for the yellow gas to activate, making it to where Clown can't just throw it right in front of him and get the speed boost. He has to actually plan out where he wants to throw it again. Thank you. Increased how long the afterpiece tonic, the purple bottle's hindered effect, lingers after leaving smoke. So that means that if a survivor basically enters the gas and then leaves it, it will actually last on them longer. I actually think this is better than actually making like a decrease to the speed of it. That's actually good. Dev note: we've heard your feedback of us screaming in your ear that Clown's easier to activate haste can make integrating and maintaining chases less interactive for survivors. That, coupled with nerfs to his purple bottles, have pushed players toward this frustrating tactic. Yeah, where he just moves like a bullet through the map. To make both bottles feel like viable options without being too oppressive, we've adjusted the values of their most impactful qualities to strike a balance between pre 9.1.0 values and live values. Okay, another good thing. Just note that Myers got a full rework and Clown got reverted, basically. Unknown. This is actually a buff to the unknown, and thank you. Increased the additional move time added to weakened when injured by a UVX projectile, meaning that it will take them longer to basically get out of the weakened effect. Thank you. That basically means that we'll have more opportunities to hit them with a second, like a second ranged attack. Thank you. Increased movement speed recovery after teleporting, which is an add-on. Thank you. That means that they're probably going to tweak the add-on to be weaker. Increased camera vertical range. This means that we can actually hit orbitals with the unknown. We can literally look straight up when about to launch and boop. Adjusted several add-ons. So this is good. They actually buffed the unknown. Dev note. And the unknown was actually like one of their better killers, like that to play as and play against, and I still would actually have fun going against him like this. The unknown is largely considered to be fun to play as and against, and we want to preserve that while adapting to the current state of gameplay that you're forcing upon us. We've buffed the UVX slightly while also taking what we've learned from the animatronic to allow for orbitals, improving UVX aiming and making for even more fun gameplay. It's also no surprise that blurry photo is the most used add-on for the unknown, given the importance of speed recovery. To help create an opportunity for more add-on experimentation, we've converted a portion of this add-on into a base kit buff while also doing a pass on other add-ons that are due for some adjustments. Thank you. And if anything, I actually have a request if you want to do something that is like the animatronic, and I want you to do it for Huntress. Change the add-on of Huntress
You know that one add-on that makes it to where her hatchet heads do the incapacitated? Change that effect. Make it to where they have more weight to them, like the animatronics axe. Make it to where a huntress could also go for orbitals, or make it to where she can hit people around a loop. I honestly think that since she has multiple shots, but she has to reload, I honestly think it would be interesting if a huntress basically had that as an add-on where she can just look up, and instead of being able to hit people very far away, that for people who enjoy playing Springtrap, I honestly think that it would be interesting if Huntress players were able to hit survivors going around a loop, but hit them over a wall. I honestly think that would make Huntress even more fun if they had an add-on like that. But you don't have to do that. I'm just saying, just a thought. The Dark Lord, vampire form, slightly reduced Hellfire cooldown. That's a buff. Increased total Hellfire pillars by 1. Buff. Reduced Hellfire charge movement speed. Nerf. Slightly increased slowdown time after casting Hellfire. Nerf. So it's basically a side grade. Wolf form. Increased pounce attack charge time. Nerf. Increased scent orb spawn time. Nerf. Bat form. Increased movement friction to make flying easier to control. Quality of life adjustment, basically. Adjusted his add-ons, obviously. Dev note. Vampire form is slightly less oppressive in short loops where movement slowdown had less of an impact. And toning down wolf form's mobility, which has been outclassed, seeing some dash killers. Maybe it's because of the fact that people love playing as the wolf because it's fun. On the flip side, you'll find bat form easier to control in tighter spaces and can use Hellfire slightly more frequently and reach further with it. Okay, thank you. The Ghoul. When grabbing a survivor on the other side of a vault with his power, the survivor is released at the start of the Ghoul's vault instead of at the end. So if you're wondering what this was basically the kidnap tech where the Ghoul, if you're basically on the other side of a vault, like a pallet or a window, the Ghoul could basically grab you and pull himself over the loop, and you would be held in place because that's how his power works. It holds you in place when he grabs you. What this would basically entail is you would get grabbed on the other end of a vault, and it would pull him to the other side, and you would be held in place still, giving him a free down. This will now no longer happen, and the Ghoul will instead pull himself over the vault, but before he starts the vault, the survivor will be let go and allowed to run away before the Ghoul can make it over the vault. So if anything, thank you. This is basically this is great. This basically makes it to where Kaneki can no longer do that BS where he could just hold you in place after he vaults. Dev note. It's no secret that it's been a common pain point for survivors to be locked in place when hit with a Kaneki leap grab attack across a vault. Survivors shouldn't have to wait for the Ghoul to finish their vault before being able to move again. So we've removed this tech. You mean you removed the thing that you put into him, you pieces of shit. The Oni. Hooking a survivor now spawns more blood orbs. Yeah, unlike the two that do jack shit. If anything, make it to where the survivor drops 8 to 10 blood orbs. That's the only way you're going to make Oni more benefit, the blood orbs that you get from hooking a survivor beneficial. Dev note. We understand that with the changes we're making to address slugging, this will impact the Oni slightly. No, it will actually impact him moderately. So we want to mitigate this by turning hooked survivors into a greater source of power gauge buildup. The Oni is rewarded with more quickly snowballing power by hooking. Perk updates. Updated various perks. Dev note. In addition to the general hook balance updates you can expect each release, we've also made a number of adjustments to account for the new systems coming to DBD this update. Specifically, relating to the slugging and tunneling. Stay tuned next Tuesday for the PTB live balance preview on Discord, where we'll because the reason why I do that is because the DBD Discord is basically a cesspool, where we'll dig into the details of these perk changes and then follow that up with patch notes where you can find the nitty-gritty numbers. Until next time, the Dead by Daylight team. We have finally gotten to the end of it, and I've been here for an hour and 15 minutes talking with Familiar about this. Holy shit. So all in all, I honestly think that they have to basically tweak the numbers on what they plan on doing for the anti-tunnel and anti-slug stuff. Not add a couple of these things, but add some of them, and it would actually be okay.
Yeah, same.
And as you can see, Survivor and Killer Main basically agree on something, because we're not pieces of shit who basically... but yeah, no, seeing...
Honestly, I just play the game for fun.
Exactly. Like, and all this is doing... how hard that they're going with this is basically going to kill the fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Okay. Whew. Man, talking for an hour and 15 minutes about nothing but the changes. I need a sip of water. I'm gonna actually play as Trapper. Whew. I think after I play maybe like a couple matches of Killer, I'll probably hop onto Minecraft. You cool for that?
Yeah, sure, I'm cool with that.
Sorry if by the end of it, everybody, that it didn't seem like Familiar was talking too much and that it was just me talking. It's the fact that Familiar, since he's a Survivor main, he doesn't really play Killer too often, nor does he play some of the killers that we were talking about.
Yeah, mainly like Michael Myers, mainly because I don't have him.
Yeah, so he doesn't really have that much of an opinion about it. You know what? I know what I'm going to name this build. Just call it steroids.
That's one way to put it.
The build that I'm running. It's fired up, forever entwined, brutal strength, and agitation. So I'll be able to break things faster, vault slightly faster, pick people up and hook them faster. Like... Oh, and then I carry them faster, too. So... Yeah. Fun! Oh, and let's not forget the two add-ons I'm running. Fastening tools and trapper gloves. So I will be able to set a trap 80% faster, and it will take survivors 25% longer to escape from a trap. So, for a little bit of fun. So I basically will not spend too much time breaking things, picking people up and hooking them, carrying them, or setting my traps. So I could technically use this as like a snowball build and basically snowball people in a certain area.
Yeah.
Which is basically the whole thing with Trapper, try to pick an area and basically snowball. Yippee! My dog just came over to basically say hello. And as for everyone who's wondering when I'll be doing the FNAF, that FNAF stream that I promised, don't worry. I'll probably be doing that around the end of the month or beginning of October. I've just been really busy and stuff, so yeah.
So, a kind of a related question, but if Dead by Daylight completely dies, what game would you pick next?
I mean, I don't know, dude.
As a replacement.
I don't know. It's like, I actually love Dead by Daylight, man. I don't want this game to die because of the developer's bad choices, but it's like...
I mean, at some point, you know.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
honestly,
I don't know.
in terms of how you play it, I would say I know one game that is
I know, Red Dead Redemption
similar.
2, I know.
No, I mean like that plays similar to Dead by Daylight, specifically.
What is it?
But it's Predator Hunting Grounds. It's essentially you have one Predator and you have like 4 Marines, but...
I've heard that one's not too good either, though.
Yeah, I mean, they had a collaboration with a certain disrespectful doctor.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. which turned the actual Predator into him. So.
Yeah, of course.
But honestly, the thing that I find nice about that one, because it's also been a while since I played it, is you can find audio logs where you actually hear like some of the lore and story, even of what happens
when you said that,
the movies.
When you said that, when you immediately said that about Dr. Disrespect, I immediately thought EDP and then just the Predator sounds from the movie.
Yeah, like some of the audio logs will literally be about like stuff that happened after the movies, because you literally have several that are actually voiced by Arnold as like what happened after the first movie.
Huh. All right.
But other than that, honestly, it plays similar to Dead by Daylight, and essentially the Mori is where you literally yank out the skull and spine as the Predator. But, eh. But Red Dead Redemption is fun too.
Like, I don't want Dead by Daylight to die, but it's like the devs aren't making that any better, you know?
Yeah, but I just meant that question as like, what game would you like start drifting more towards if Dead by Daylight starts dying?
I actually don't know, man. I'll tell you which game I won't. I'll tell you what game I won't be drifting towards. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Holy shit. The moment that I mention Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it loads me into a match. Even the game knows what kind of a cesspool TCM is.
Yeah, but dude, I know one game series that you're probably not gonna go even try.
And that is?
Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Or Fortnite. I won't.
I mean, we have played Fortnite before together, but it's specifically like the
Save the World
portion.
Yeah, and it's like it's cool and all, but it's like it's just such a grind, man. Like too much.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, I love being able to like farm stuff and basically prove how efficient I am in those games. But it's like if that's all the game is, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, Bloody Price Streamers, thank you. That'll help my Survivor Pudding a lot. At least I'm getting a 200% bonus blood points from this.
Honestly, I also don't think you would try out like a Souls game.
No, I did Soul Calibur 6.
I would.
And,
I mean, like an actual Souls game.
yeah, no. Mount Ormond Resort. Okay. This is actually a nice 3-gen. I could actually trap this up and do really well here. I could actually do a really good 3-gen here.
Yeah. Honestly, one Souls-like that I know that is pretty forgiving as well, in terms of what a Souls game normally is. I would say it could potentially be like AI Limit, which is also a Souls game. It's more in an anime aesthetic, but it's honestly still forgiving. Plus, it is actually one of the few Souls games that I know of that actually has a free demo you can try out.
This is good. This is good. Ah! Here we go.
Is the match going that good?
Well, they got a gen done, but I got a trap with one of my bear traps. Let's go. My 3-gen's actually going to go really well.
Happy.
Oh, I don't care if the servers aren't going to be happy. That's the whole point. I'm supposed to do good. They're supposed to start getting snowballed. That's the whole point of this build. Make it to where this part of the map is basically unplayable.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, the survivors don't want to come over to where I'm proxying. It's funny. Because now they have no choice. They have to. Hit him. Hit you. You got stuck on it because you're fat. Come here, Jane. Thank you. Take you back to my 3-gen. Oh, let's go. I caught someone while I was carrying. Let's go. Hook you. Aww. Cute. Oh, it sucks to suck. Hook you go. Hey, Cheney Poo. Healing under hook? Nah, 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 nah. Get out of here. Get ready for the snowball. It's going to really hurt your little foreheads. I have 3 ginger asses. Just give it up. You ain't winning. Cut this off. Break this. Oh no, you ain't. You're going to suffer really much right now. There's no winning against my ass here. You're going to suffer my wrath. Let's go. Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure horror and suffering. Sufferer, my wrath. You won't win. I'm the one who knocks. Don't you know? Baby, that won't do anything against me. Later. I'm not leaving this area. You fellas are going to 3-gen yourselves here. Yeah, no. Come with me. We're moving closer back to my 3-gen. Come here. Hit you. A little hit and run. Let's go here. Grab this. No, you don't do that, Jane. Come here. You go here. You're dead. Okay. That pallet's gone now. Hit you that way. And leave. Because I'm protecting my 3-gen here. My pallet's safe here. I don't have to worry. But you do! Thanks for the chase, Quentin. I really appreciate it, my man. And my 3-gen has been secured for the end game. Let's go. With everyone either dug or dead or struggling on hook now.
Nice.
It's so nice when you know that you can just take away every bit of their ability to play. This is how you have to play Trapper, everybody. Just play really efficiently with and place your traps in really good positions. And you can basically just steal all their hope and dreams. Make you have to mend and heal while I go for this guy. Cute, there's no pallet here now, buddy. There's a pallet over there, though, that I will break in less time than you are happy about. Hello. Push you that way. Yeah, you're not happy, are you, buddy? No, you're not. Nice, 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 nice. Now that those pallets are gone, I'm gonna go back to my 3-gen. And keep little Miss Thickums here from touching my gens. Come here. Yeah, vault that window into the trap, please. Thank you! I appreciate you! I really, really do! And now everyone's dead on hook. Perfect! I also put the trap a little bit further out from the window because female survivors basically... male survivors vault the window a little bit farther than females, but females will like hit the ground sooner. So you want to put the traps to the... not too close to the window so you can catch everyone. And as you can see, this entire section of the map has basically been coercioned off. Like, they literally can't do anything. Nice. I'm gonna set that and go for the gens. Okay. I'm gonna ignore you then. Because you're not leading me away from my 3-gen, buddy. Yeah, I know. Like, this ain't gonna go the way you want it to. Thank you. That's 2 people dead. And as you can see, I have not tunneled a single person. But you know what survivors will say? Oh, me, you nerf killer, nerf killer. And it's because they don't want to accept the fact that they ain't playing well. You know what? I have enough time. Let's do this. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, hello. And this is where we slug and go for the 4K. I'm gonna go set a couple of traps down on the end gates. He's gonna have to go pick him up, so if anything, I have time to because he's not doing gens, so I'm gonna just go and put my traps down on the exit gates.
Oh, for anyone watching the stream, I'm still here, by the way.
Yeah. But see, now this is where that 90 seconds thing would be fine, because the fact, see, I'm slugging for the 4K, and I actually completely agree that, yes, 90 seconds is just fine for that. Because I haven't picked him up yet, but I am going to go pick him up. Because I don't want him bleeding out. Ew, get out of my hands. Come here. I want you back in my hands. And drop you. There we go. Buddy. Nah, I didn't drop you so you could just do a gen, buddy. No. Absolutely not. You're not. Big bag wolf ain't gonna let you do that, nah. Plus, I move faster with you on my shoulder. This makes it to where you don't bleed out. And I find him. You know what? For those in chat, should I let this guy that's on my shoulder go after I find Quentin and kill him, or should I just let Quentin have Hatch? He's the only one doing a gen, so yeah, Quentin's just hiding somewhere. Just hiding like a coward. Well, I'm gonna go break some stuff in the main building. Up. Break that. Break this. There he is. There's Quentin. Little shit was hiding. Come here, little shit stain. You have crows on you, too. Yeah, leave me away. That's fine. He can do the gen if he wants. You're the one that I want dead now. Because you literally wanted to basically just not do anything.
Yep.
And he had adrenaline, so okay. Good thing pallets ain't nothing to me. I know which gate he's gonna go for. I can actually down Quentin here for the 4K. Yeah, and I'm going to. Sorry, Renato, I don't want you opening the gate. You know what, go, just go. Later, Renato. Oh, hi there, Quentin. Nah, you wanted to hide? Nah, you getting Mori. Come here. With by one of the trashiest Moris ever. Yeah, disconnect, you little shit. You wanna just hide like that? Nah. You ain't hiding from me. And there we go. I pretty much won that before they could even get all the gens done, so you know what? Yeah. I might as well just let one person go. But yeah, no, that's how you play Trapper, everybody. Also, reporting you, Renato. F you. But, yeah, no, that's how you play Trapper. And get 145,000 blood points with him, too. Oh, my PS5 is saying that it's overheating.
Oh, damn.
Oh, I'm tier 81 in the Rift now. Nice.
So I'll know what happens if you suddenly, like, leave the party and stuff.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be that, yeah. Well, I did all my dailies with that match, too. If anything, I think that would be a good enough place to actually end the stream, actually, that one match. But yeah, no, that's basically the if, ands, what's, and buts about this. Instead of Survivor Pudding, you could also bring Putrid Oak and just make it to where it's even easier to hook people. Because it's like, then you'll have a chance of having those hooks be incredibly close to each other and have more hooks to actually have on in your territory too. So it's like, yeah, no. This is kind of the build I was running, and yeah. You kind of just want to keep it like a 3-gen, and once you can, boom. Just keep that 3-gen secure, and Trapper can actually do really good. I mean, especially, it's like, once it gets down to that last 3-gen, you're going to be breaking pallets a grand total of 44% faster than normal. So it's like, that 44% is actually going to mean something when you're breaking a pallet, and then picking survivors up. Like, you get 24 from Fire Up, and then you get 30, and then you get 32 from Forever Entwined. So, let me see here. That'd be 56% faster pickup speed. So it's not even half the time that you normally pick somebody up. A little less than half time. That's actually really good. Especially when you can hook them 32% faster as well. And then carry them to a hook 18% faster. Yeah, like, this basically makes it to where all the stuff that a trapper trying to 3-gen would have to worry about. Just keep an eye on the gens as often as you can. Try to get a kill as soon as you can. But as you saw, I basically didn't tunnel anybody. I just played trapper and did extremely well. Hitting people off of hook and letting them run away so that they have to mend and then heal. That's kind of how you want to do it. Make it to where they have to spend more time healing. So that way you can actually take chase with the other person that just unhooked them. But yeah, no. That's pretty much going to be it from me today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button. Greatly shows your support on this channel and my Dead by Daylight series and my other series as a whole. Yeah, me and Familiar, we'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.